have to grapple with it because it's the snake, it's the beast coiled up in the heart, the bosom of the country, as Frederick Douglass said. And the fact that they are doubling down on this shows you what kind of human beings they actually are.
Say more.
We chose a felon who is more interested in loyalty, who's more interested in retribution, who's more interested in grift than in democracy. And we chose a felon because we didn't want to elect a black woman. So to read that, to actually explicate that, is to say we would rather destroy the republic than for that to have happened. And until we grapple with it, there's no amount of protesting I could do. There's no amount of resistance that could come into play to actually force 78 million people to grapple with what motivated them to put themselves in this position.
But we spoke about tariffs at the start of the show, and all we get here in Australia is just the news of what a disaster this is. But how do the majority of Americans feel? Well, a new poll shows that Donald Trump is more popular now than before he announced the sweeping tariffs. This Daily Mail poll found that Trump's approval rating has gone up to 53%. It's a 4-point increase over last week when it was 49%. It's a pretty strong indication of how many Americans are really behind Donald Trump.
Right. I mean, listen, he won this vote not by a small margin. He won by a landslide. I'm actually pleasantly surprised to see his approval rating went up since the tariffs, which makes me a bit relieved because I figured we were all panicking too prematurely. Now, in terms of the tariffs, everyone would be lying if they say in some way or form they're not being impacted now. But I call it growing pains. And I'm glad that we're starting to see a little bit more of the patience that will unroll eventually the effects of the tariffs.
Yes.
But, you know, before something gets better, it has to break a little bit. And I think Trump is kind of testing the limits of other countries to see where he can meet in a negotiating point. But since Netanyahu came out, since the EU came out, I think the goal is to genuinely lower how other countries are abusing our system. You know, Biden's been asleep for 4 years.
He has.
The average American person just did a little bit of research and saw how Joe Biden allowed us to get walked all over by other countries in terms of tariffs. That should be where the outrage is directed, not Trump trying to fix it and us going through a little bit of growing pains in the process.